Hey everybody, welcome to this week's Weekly Roundup. I have a ridiculously long list, but we're still betting that I'll get this in under 10 minutes or right around it. So let's get to it. First things first is street updates. So obviously super busy this time of year with road reconstruction and maintenance. So I'm going to try to just speak through a few of the updates. So we have begun removing pavement marking on certain roads that will be getting updated. So please just be mindful. I know I've already noticed a couple of roads where I'm like, where's the center line? Well, we've removed it. There should be some signage in the area, but just be extra careful, as I say nearly every week on this video, moving around in the road. There's a lot happening. So pavement marking is gone in some places. Please be mindful. On 11th and 12th Street near Western Avenue, we have completed the water main work, and now we'll be moving over to back to 12th Street to do some of the storm sewer installation. So things are moving along nicely there. We are doing storm sewer cleaning and televising. And I think before this job, I didn't really even know what that was or that something like that would happen. So we have about 80 miles of storm sewer pipe throughout the community. And what that does is help us move stormwater, the water that falls out of the sky after rain events. And then some groundwater gets moved through those stormwater pipes as well. And we having about 80 miles, we have a newer maintenance initiative. We've been doing it for 3 years, and we're on about a 5 to 6 year cycle of cleaning and televising that storm pipe. What that does is cleaning that pipe allows the water to move better. So when we have heavy rain events, sediment and debris will build up in those storm sewer pipes, and we're working on cleaning them on about 5 to 6 year rotation so that water moves better. So we are doing all that right now. That'll be going on for about a month. So if you see people in the road or just in the side of the road, just know that that's the important work that they're doing. We did get through our first list of patches. So I know the one I notice always is on the Highway 16 frontage road. So that one's finally patched. And so are a bunch of other patches that we needed done throughout the city. So that the paver will come back again yet this season, but we've completed that first list. On Boomer Street, so this is kind of one of a federal project. They are federal and state project. They are working on the biofilter this coming week, and then they'll be coming back again in July to do some final paving. So that one should button up kind of midsummer. And then throughout the community, we're doing storm inlet repairs. So this looks like those storm drains in the curb line. We're going back and replacing those that need to be replaced and repouring the concrete that needs to be reported. So please be careful if you see us working in the roadway. And then we're also doing a lot of stormwater maintenance. So cattail removals around our stormwater ponds. I know they're working on swales. So a ton of work happening for stormwater. And I didn't plan on mentioning this, but I think it's important to note, Watertown is something called an MS4 permit community. That means essentially we have a higher benchmark than other cities potentially around us, even as it pertains to stormwater compliance. That's not something we choose to do. It is something required from the state. And there's a lot of things that go into that. One of them is the Rock River. The Rock River is considered a distressed waterway, which means that we have to clean the water that goes into it at a higher level than perhaps others. I'm grossly simplifying that, but as I talk about all this stormwater work and why we're increasing it, I sat in a conference room as an alderperson, 10 years ago or so, and was told, we'd have a ton of compliance metrics to meet. Well, the time is here. And so that's why all of this work has been happening over the last, 5 years or so around stormwater. So enough about stormwater. A couple of project updates. So Riverside Park, the footbridges and the walls, that was a project that started last year and is finishing up this year. We're super, super close. So just a couple of punch list items, and then our city street crew will come in and pour the concrete at the observation deck right on Laborie by the bathrooms. So that project is almost done. Speaking of the bathrooms, the trusses are up and that project is moving along nicely. So we're hoping to have that complete kind of late summertime. Main Street Bridge. The demo is complete. Woohoo! So grateful. Coffer dams are installed and will be continuing to be installed north and south of the bridge. But the work is going well, which we're super grateful for. I was asked earlier this week about a crane operator's strike and how that would impact the bridge. The DOT is running this project and they have a contract provision that addresses strikes. And I do know the cranes have been working this week. They were moving yesterday, so fingers crossed we stay good on that front. At the fire station, just a reminder that Bernard Street, we did do a press release about it, but that Bernard Street will be temporarily closed from Fairview Drive, which is essentially that intersection of Pick and Save, Rose Garden, Ace Hardware, to Milford Street for some work on June 18th and June 19th. So 7 a.m. to about 6 p.m. those 2 days. There is a posted detour, but access to local businesses and the apartment complex will remain open. If you have appointments in that area or need to get through that area, just reach out, make sure that you're familiar for those 2 days. At the station, though, the foundation for the app is done. We are doing foundation work in the office area next week. The topsoil is getting hauled off site. I've been asked about that more times than I can count. So we knew going into the project, you've heard me talk about that we'd have to move soil off site, unsuitable soil we couldn't build on. It's topsoil. So in that work with the excavator, it was a part of their contract to then remove that topsoil off-site. So all of that was planned for and included in that contract. Where that private contractor is moving the topsoil to, I do not know. All I know is they were contractually required to remove it. So that's where the topsoil is going, which is great. You'll be able to see the site even easier from Bernard Street. Electrical and plumbing rough-ins are happening. Long and short, things are going well at the fire station site. Please keep it that way. Similar emergency government related topic. We did do a press release, but it's super important just for awareness. The tornado siren on Boughton Street is currently not functional. And as a reminder, tornado sirens are for people who are outdoors to be aware. So they're not intended for you to hear them inside. A lot of times we can, but that's not the intention of them. But if you're in the Boughton Street area, or really anywhere in the city, just make sure you have ways to be weather aware. We have had a lot of storms and severe weather already this season. So whether it is your phone notifying you, an app notifying you, watching the weather on TV, just be aware. And as we are working to replace that siren, which work has already begun to get the money moved around to make that happen, just be extra mindful in that Boughton Street area. That siren was over 50 years old. So we have been working in the last handful of years or so to replace our sirens, but that one is our oldest. So work will be happening on that. Okay, switching gears, a couple of events. So the Watertown Police Department is hosting the bike rodeo, which is a great community event. A lot of people enjoy it. We do bike giveaways, helmet giveaways. Bike safety is really the important one here. That's going to be on June 22nd. So we'll share more info next week, but please make sure just to mark that down in your calendar. Believe it or not, we are working on the 2025 budget. Oh, man, it feels like we just finished 24, but we are already starting with 25. So coming up in June and July, you're going to start to hear us talking about our budget goals, our 5-year capital plan, staffing adjustments people are requesting, and then budget meetings will kick off kind of late summer, early fall. So that work is underway. Reminder, if you own or work at a restaurant or sell retail food, campgrounds, pools, lodging, tattoo and body piercing, it is that time of year where your renewals are due at the health department. We sent those out in early May, but payments are due by June 30th. So please make sure you make arrangements. Either make sure you make that payment, make sure you reach out to them if there's some issue. We want to make sure that we have those complete so that there's no interruption in service. For members of our community that aren't owners or operators of those establishments, just a good kind of awareness for you that our public health department does a ton of work this time of year and throughout the year to make sure that if you are swimming in a pool, staying at a hotel, eating at a restaurant, that you're doing so in a safe manner, and that's through this licensing and observation process that our public local health department does. So important work happens there. Okay, I have these really in a wonky order, but here's a random development update. Allwardt Street, which has been a project that's had a lot of public input, which is fantastic. I think we're in maybe like the third iteration of that project, and each time, and right now I think we're at a really good spot, and so did the Plan Commission. The Allwardt Street development, which is 120 some-ish multifamily units, 25-ish single-family condominiums. Google that if you don't know what they look like. I know I had to look it up myself. They look like single-family homes. That plan was conceptually approved by the Plan Commission this week, and then they also approved setting public hearing dates. Many, many more opportunities for public engagement and awareness, but if you're interested in following that project, I'd encourage you to watch for the next thing, which will be the public hearings at the Common Council. told you it was random. Here's about Food Truck Mondays. So the Benson Family Town Square is hosting Food Truck Mondays. Those are on Mondays. They selected that date because it's a date a lot of our downtown restaurants are closed. A lot of them close on Mondays after being open all weekend. So Food Truck Mondays are coming to the square, or have been at the square, Mondays 4 to 7. This week we have Quacky Jack's Grilled Cheese, and then I hope I don't say this wrong, Jandy's Base Camp. So just another opportunity to get downtown, enjoy the square, and then hit up our local businesses. All right, recreation side. Kart Park is back. I'm a big fan of Kart Park. When I first became mayor, we knew that we had some areas in the community that were inaccessible for recreation and park outdoor play for kids and families and neighborhoods, and Kart Park was the answer. So this is a mobile park that moves around to those areas of the community that are underserved or are just attractive areas where we can get a lot of people to come and enjoy recreational activity, which we know is so important to growth and brain development. So we are putting out our schedule for Kart Park. No registration required, ages 4 and up. June 18th, which is next week, we'll be at Clemens Street. June 19th, we'll be at Riverside Park. June 20th, we'll be at Union Park. And it's everything from like Gaga Ball to rainbow looms to chalk and bubbles and a variety of different outdoor games that can be played. So if you're interested, or if you're watching kids this summer or whatever it may be, that's a great stop for you for free outdoor fun. We are doing some new offerings at Park and Rec. One is involving children and parents or children and guardians. This is like an outdoor exercise opportunity. It's on Saturday mornings. And I have to tell you, I asked, this is for people who have either a ton of strength or smaller children, because the exercises, you do have to bear the weight of your child. My son is nearly 100 pounds. We will not be attending. My younger son is around 70 pounds, also not attending. However, if you can lift that much weight, or if you have smaller children, that's probably what we're gearing this towards. But it's just a great opportunity to be outside with your family or the children in your life and getting healthy. So we have those open for registration at Riverside Park. If you have larger kids or teenagers, probably not the one for you. We're also doing a soccer camp in July, and then the baseball short game is running from June through July. So 2 opportunities for some sports there. And then we are doing food truck days at the Senior and Community Center, not to be confused with Food Truck Mondays at the Benson Family Town Square. So I know actually we have one today, I believe, today, Friday, we're doing a treat trike at the Senior and Community Center. I think it's from 11 to 2-ish. I have been to the treat trike. It's pretty fantastic frozen treats. So if you're looking for somewhere to stop by today, you can stop by between 11 and 2. We are still registering for day camp, and we do have a really nice calendar posted of if you would like to register for day camp, when you need to register by each week. So if I'm going to take my child in July, there's a note saying when I need to register them by so that they can attend in July. So at the library, we're doing sewing classes, camp library, which is always a wonderful time, and tons of other activities by age. Check out the posting in the Daily Times newspaper or on their website. All right, last thing, city meetings next week. We've got a couple of big ones. So on Monday, Park and Rec will be taking up smoking in parks. I haven't talked about this in a couple of months because it's been kind of working its way through different boards and committees and Common Council, but I think we're kind of at the point where this is the one. So we're working to have areas in public parks that are smoke-free. And so they'll be discussing that on Monday at Park Rec and Forestry, virtual or in person. As always, our agendas, our packets, everything is posted on our city website. And then on Tuesday, we will be reviewing and hopefully approving the development agreement for Rock River Ridge. This is the development on the southwest side of the community at the former Bethesda campus. This is single-family homes, twin homes, and multifamily. We'll be considering just the single family and twins next Tuesday at the Common Council. Huge milestone for our community. So if that's of interest, I'd encourage you to attend, virtual or in person. On the weekend front, it is dairy breakfast all weekend. So tons of information out in the community, whether it's flyers, articles, press releases, Facebook posts. They have their own Facebook page. So the dairy breakfast is all weekend. Tonight at the square is the first event of Share the Love. This is led by some of our area churches, so that'll be tonight. Games, snacks, prizes, fellowship. That'll be tonight at the square. Tomorrow night is our second night of the summer concert series. It's Conscious Pilot, so food trucks, beverages, alcoholic and non, and great music. Saturday at the Square. Monday, which I don't normally mention, but Monday is music at the museum. So this is led by the Watertown Historical Society at the Octagon House grounds. It's a lovely evening. The weather seemingly always cooperates, and I hope it continues to. And then on Wednesday at our airport is the Fly-In Food Fest. So many things are happening in the community, which is such a gift. We've been so grateful to be able to be a part of just tremendous growth over this last handful or so of years, and there is something for everyone. So I hope you have a chance to get out and enjoy the community. It's also Father's Day weekend, so happy Father's Day to all the fathers in this community and all the people who play that role in kids' lives. The impact fathers make on children is deeply profound. So happy Father's Day to all of our fathers in Watertown, and have a good weekend. We'll see you next week.